Hey guys, I just wanted to share a interesting experience I had last night, which I think would be valuable to share. And I guess the build up to that has been happening over years. So, as human beings, when we're younger and we're learning and we do things and we make mistakes, often the adults around us that love us dearly will comment about it. Oh, you silly sausage, whoopsie daisies. Oh, you're clumsy, aren't you? And look, don't be silly. Sort that out. Don't do that. That's naughty. That's good. That's bad. And they love us and they care about us and they're doing things for our protection to help us. However, often our mind will hear it a different way or often have a comment about it, and often it's from, I don't want to feel bad. I don't want the person that loves me to feel bad about me. So, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not good enough. I need to try better. I need to, work harder, whatever. And look, my vision of that has always been something in the realm of, there's something wrong with me. I'm not good enough. I don't fit in and I don't deserve. And, people who know me well and know this about me often say, really? Shit, bro, we don't see that from the outside. That's just, I guess an automatic pattern. And there's been some things happening. Oh, and look, until I consciously chose to look at that and go, why do I feel this way, and do the work and actually get some learning and some wisdom from outside of my own mind and do courses and things. It just was how it was, and that was it. And look, a few things have happened recently. Like, some good examples are, I went to buy an underwater camera and I was hesitant. I was like, why am I hesitant? Because, I always wreck them, always lose them, always break them. So maybe I shouldn't, maybe I don't deserve. And it's interesting because what didn't come up for me immediately was all the beautiful memories I've had from owning these cameras and being at these places and getting these experiences. And that's 100-fold more than the times I've dropped one or broken it or worn it out through excess love and use. And then another time I went to it just recently, I'd been, the economy's tough for everybody and money's been tight. And I really wanted to buy a new surfboard. So I just saved small change and sold little items here and there and just squirreled away some cash until I had enough, and I bought the new surfboard. And on my way to buy it, I was hesitant. Like, why am I hesitant? Because, you've broken ones before and damaged them. And one surfboard I had that was really special to me that friends chipped in to buy when Rachel died to sort of support me in something that gives me healing. I didn't tie it on the reef properly one time and I lost it. And that was a massive chunk of, I don't deserve, I felt really bad about it for a long time. Anyway, so I bought the surfboard, and then not so long ago, I was surfing with one of the dearest friends in my whole life. Someone who means a lot to me. And I took the camera because it was a cool day to take footage, and I took some beautiful footage thinking what a great contribution it will be to him. And then a really good wave came. I was like, I'll get this one. I caught this wave. Oh, this is so good. And I was paddling back out and I went, fuck, where's the camera? Oh my God. And it was all there, all of it. I'm such an idiot. I don't deserve. I shouldn't have brought it out. I shouldn't have brought it. What a dick. And it took a lot for that whole massive experience to overcome me, and for me to just go, hang on a minute, it's okay. You dropped the camera. That's all. You lost the camera. That's it. There's nothing else. And to really, work with myself to get back to, it's a camera that you just lost. That's all. But there was a little bit of, clearly there's something wrong with you. You don't deserve. Then recently, I brought my surfboard out to show it to another very dear friend of mine who is like such a great friend. And he said to me, what happened to it? And I looked, and the tail of it was smashed badly, like it's been dropped and broken. And I couldn't think where that happened, but there was a time where I was taken off the roof of the car and the straps were off, and the wind caught it and it flew onto the ground, and I had a quick look and it looked okay, but obviously it wasn't. And there it was again. I don't deserve, not good enough, like an idiot. And then this Saturday, Nikki spent like literally 8 hours with a rug doctor cleaning all of our soft off-white couches and ottomans, beautiful furniture, and it was just gorgeous. And on Sunday night, we're sitting on the couch listening to music, and I had a hot chocolate in my hand, and I was drinking it, and she said to me, look, the music's a bit loud, can we turn it down a bit? And I grabbed the remote to turn it down, and I spilt the hot chocolate. And everything was right there. There was such a dick. The one thing, she's done all this time and effort. I've let her down. I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I? There's something wrong with me. And then there was the, what's predictable now is she's going to be like, oh my God, honey, like I spent all this time, what are you doing? Why did you do this? And it's always amplified in my head. What she's saying and what I hear is often different. You know, for me, it's like evidence, not good enough, what an idiot, she doesn't love me anymore. Like, it's all there. And what was really distinctly different is I noticed it come up and I just sat with it and just sort of noticed, like, okay, oh, shivers, it would be really easy to go down that road. But I'm not. Okay, it's interesting. And I watched for Nikki's reaction, and she was like, oh, honey, damn it, I spent ages cleaning these. Oh, well, it's just an accident, let's clean it up. And we cleaned it all up, and I was like, this is weird. What's different here? Is it, you know, have I resolved my trauma? Have I broken through something? Am I, you know, a different person now? Is that mechanism gone? And I have what I believe is a really good connection to, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, source, the universe, ultimate wisdom, your higher consciousness, God, different name, same thing really. And I just asked the question, okay, what's going on here? And I saw this big smiling face like a Buddha. And I'm like, interesting. Not really an answer, but why smiling? And then I asked the question again, like, what is there to be learned here? Is this some deep wisdom learning? And the Buddha face started laughing, and my immediate reaction, even out loud, is they stop laughing at me. Nikki's like, what? I'm like, that's all right. No, carry on laughing. I see what you're pointing to here. And I sat down with Nikki and I explained the whole thing, and I said, look, here's the thing. A couple of years ago, we probably would have dealt with this differently. You know, I would have gone into a deep self-pity. I'm no good, I'm useless, I don't deserve. And in that space, I'll normally trip over, drop something else, and then, you know, slam a door and go outside and rant and rave at myself. And Nikki would, you know, often do what for me seems like rip me a new one, and you know, just go on and on about it, and why didn't you this and why didn't you that? And it's just our reactions happening. And I said to her, I think the opportunity in this situation, not like it was meant to happen, but I think it's really valuable to look, like really notice how we dealt with this now versus how we could have dealt with it, or how we may have dealt with it when we were not in a good headspace. And what a massive difference. And I think it's really valuable to declare to each other, look how far we've come. And maybe not even so much that, but look at what our capacity is, look what we're capable of doing, look how we can deal with these situations versus how we do deal with them completely by accident if we just react, and that mechanism with all that past comes into play. And she's like, wow, that's cool. And of course, being deep and philosophical, I asked again, so what is the great message here, great leader, great wise one? And the laughter started again. I was like, okay. And Nikki said, well, what do you think's going on? And I looked and just put everything aside, all the past, all my thoughts and everything, and just looked at it from a practical perspective. And I said to her, I just wasn't paying attention. Or saying it another way, I just wasn't present in that moment. Now, is there anything inherently bad or wrong about that? Absolutely not. Does it have anything to do with who I am, or how I'm wired, or my trauma, or my whatever else, which, don't get me wrong, there's all of that going on. But in this situation, I'm choosing to look differently versus like trauma from pasthood, childhood stuff, versus like, what about right here, right now? What actually happened? I just wasn't present. And I looked at her and went, fucking hell. The surfboard, the camera. It had nothing to do with who I am and whether I'm good enough or not. I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't present in that moment. My mind was occupied. I'm in here dealing with my thoughts rather than being aware of what's happening out here right now. And I'm sharing this because I think, holy smoke, what if, and look, it may not be the truth, and if it doesn't fit for you and like, oh, no, whatever, man, then just like, that's okay. But what I'm offering is the opportunity for each of us to look at all these times where we have this huge judgment and persecution against ourselves. It might be valid. Maybe there's something we're doing we need to take note of and stop doing, but there's a good chance that it's just as simple as, I just wasn't paying attention. I just wasn't present. And if that means that we're, you know, born wrong and bad and there's something wrong with us, well, I don't know. But it's worth taking on and saying, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Maybe it's just that and nothing else. Because from there, all we simply need to do is pay attention. Be a little bit more present. Every now and then wake up. And what I mean by that is, rather than copy and paste and repeat in our life, just stop for a moment and just stop and just check in out there, outside of your thought, outside of your feelings, outside of what you're dealing with in your mind, and just check in, just in case there's a pothole you're about to fall in, or there's a camera that you've got in your hand and you're so caught up in the moment you forget it's not tied on and you just take off, or something like that. Anyway, you know, the cheesy old saying, presence is a gift. If you're present, I think we become more aware of everything. But hey, up to you. Have a great day.